All right. Let's find a comfortable seat. Again, having a blanket or pillows underneath your hips to support if that feels better. And we'll begin by rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. Bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, you can float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or gently gazing downward. Lift the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. With each inhaling breath, lifting the heart. And with each exhale, sitting bones sinking toward the earth. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibration. Take another deep breath in. Take a moment, enjoy the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. And allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning, setting an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. With your next inhaling breath, bring yourself here to this room, to this moment. With each exhale, release anything not needed for your practice today. And with your next inhale, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. With your next inhale, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding the lungs in all directions with each inhale, completely releasing the breath with each exhale. As you continue this full deep breath, gently begin to decrease the length between the inhale and the exhale, shortening the pause until you're just turning one part of the breath into the other. The inhale turns into the exhale. The exhale turns into the inhale. If you'd like to envision a water wheel in front of you, you can inhale, drawing the wheel towards you, and exhale, gently pushing it away, creating one continuous circle of motion. Take one more full continuous breath. When you reach your exhale, gently return to your natural breath. Noticing any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Bringing your awareness to your right hand, allow the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together and bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward towards your heart. Looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with your inner light, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hands down, gently open your eyes. If you'd like to switch your legs or change positions, please go ahead and do that. And then with your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by our ears. And as you exhale, press them back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Once more, lift and squeeze. And back and down. We'll bring the hands in front of our chest, palms facing down. Tuck the shoulders back and down. Lifting the heart. Gently squeezing the muscles around the scapula, strengthening, holding it in place. You might notice that one side has more muscle strength than the other. And let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart. Squeeze the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any tension. And then opening the arms wide, turning the palms up. Think about squeezing the lower corners of the shoulder blades. Flexing the wrists, pressing through the palms if that feels okay. Then we'll bring the arms in front, crossing the right over the left, bending at the elbows, or hands back to back or left hand around the right wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeezing the arms together, pressing the elbows away from us as we breathe into the upper back. If it feels okay, you can gently begin to lower and lift the elbows, extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with your next inhale, if it feels okay, you can lift a little higher, gently arching. And then exhale, folding forward just as much as feels okay right now. Letting the weight of the arms open through the back. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. And we'll unwrap the arms, opening wide. And then come back in front, left arm over the right this time. Bending the elbows, hands back to back or right hand around the left wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Neck and jaw are relaxed. Gently squeeze the arms together, pressing the elbows away. And if it feels okay, begin to lower and lift the elbows following the breath. And with your next inhale, if it feels okay, lifting the elbows up higher, gently arching. And gently lowering as you exhale, letting the weight of the arms open through the upper back. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And we'll unwrap the arms. Let's extend them out to the sides. You can either leave the palms or the hands open or gently bring them into a fist, and we'll make some circles with the wrists. And reverse the circles. And then we'll bring the hands together at the heart, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms out in front of us. Hold the shoulders forward, drop the chin round the spine. With your next inhale, lift the arms up over the head, gently arching. Exhale, round, pressing the palms away. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, drop the chin, leaving the palms up. Soften the elbows. Roll the shoulder blades back toward each other, squeezing the upper corners of the shoulder blades together. If it feels okay, relax the back of the neck a little more. And if it feels okay, you can press the palms a little higher. With your next inhale, lift the chin. As you exhale, twist toward the right and float the hands down. Left hand on the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Lifting the heart with your inhale, gently twisting through the ribs with your exhale. Hold and breathe. Lifting and twisting gently. Keeping the left hand on the knee with your next inhale, lift the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Lifting the heart, chin is away from the chest. Right hip drops toward the mat. Fingertips reaching across the sky, breathing into the side of the body. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale back to the center. We'll take a breath in and out. Let's interlace the fingers. Inhale the arms up over the head. Exhale, twisting to the left. And float the hands down. Right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. Lifting the heart with the inhale. Gently twisting with the exhale. Hold and breathe. Finding that edge between flexibility and inflexibility. Keeping the right hand on the knee, with your next inhale, lift the left arm up by the ear. As you exhale, reach across the body. Lifting the heart, chin is away from the chest. Left hip drops down toward the mat. Breathing into the left side of the body. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. And take a breath in and out. And let's extend our legs out in front of us. And let's bring the left foot in toward the groin. Right leg extends out into alternate leg stretch or Nadi Shodhana. So we're going to flex that right foot, engage the quadriceps, drawing the kneecap up, reaching that heel away, lifting the spine tall. Notice if your shoulders came up and gently soften them down. Just hold here for a moment. And then gently soften the leg. We'll bring both hands on either side of the leg, lengthening the spine tall, gently folding over, just as far as feels okay. Reaching back through the right hip, pressing away through the heel, lengthening and softening through each breath. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. Let's turn to face your left leg, placing that right hand on the knee. With your inhale, lift the left arm up by your ear. And as you exhale, reach the right shoulder toward the right leg. If that bothers your shoulder to have the left arm there, you can bring the hand to the low back. Flexing the right foot. Letting that left hip soften down as you breathe into the left side of the body. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll place the left hand on the mat. Right arm extends over the right leg. And we'll lift onto the hand and the knee, coming into crescent pose. And now think about gently opening the heart, squeezing the shoulders together gently. Reaching from the fingertips to the toes. And then gently lower down. And we'll switch legs. So right leg will be drawn in, left leg extended out. Facing the extended leg, you're going to lift the spine tall. Engage the quadriceps by drawing the kneecap up, flexing the foot, pressing the heel away from us. Strengthening through both the inner and outer quads. And then gently release. Place the hands on either side of the leg, lengthen the spine with your inhale. And as you exhale, gently soften. Lengthening and softening with the breath. Left hip presses back, left heel reaches away. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll turn to face the right leg, placing the left hand on the knee. Inhale the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach the left shoulder toward the left leg. So you want to keep the torso facing the wall in front of us. Drop the right hip, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. And again, if that bothers your shoulder at all, bringing the hands to the low back. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. Placing the right hand on the mat, left arm over the left leg. Inhale, lifting up onto the knee and the hand. Coming into crescent pose. Rolling those shoulders back toward each other. Reaching from the fingertips to the toes. And then gently lowering back down. And then with both of the legs extended in front of us, we'll gently lower down onto our backs. Taking a moment to briefly scan up the body, noticing any parts that feel tired, achy, or sore. Honoring yourself and your body by listening to its messages. Pushing yourself to your edge, but not beyond it. And remembering that each time you do yoga, your body is a little bit different. Let's bend the right leg, bringing the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Shoulders tuck under, lengthening through the neck. Soften around the hip. Keeping the left hand on the knee, allow the right arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down or bending at the elbow. And as you exhale, gently twist over the left side of the body. Right hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Vision toward the right arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Release the muscles around the hip. Easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center, extending the leg up toward the sky. Take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your body's rhythm. Releasing the front and the back of the leg. Then begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reversing the circles. Reaching through the heel, draw the belly muscles down toward the back. Drawing the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, lifting the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Lengthening through the spine, reaching through the heel, belly muscles are strong. If you'd like a little extra challenge, you can flex the left foot, lifting it a couple of inches off the floor. And you can also release the hands from the leg. And gently lower the left leg. With your next inhale, lower the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lower the right leg. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in and out. Let's bend the left leg, floating the hands to the knee, drawing it in toward the chest. Shoulders tuck under, neck is nice and long, soften around the hip. Keeping the right hand on the knee, allow the left arm to fall out to the side. And as you exhale, gently twist over the right side of the body. Vision toward the left arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Releasing the muscles around the hip. Easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. Extending the leg up toward the sky, take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Now begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching the foot as far as it can go in each direction, and then reversing those circles. Reaching through the heel. Draw the belly muscles down toward the back, low back presses toward the floor, drawing the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. With your next exhaling breath, if it feels okay, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. You can stay here or flexing the right foot, lifted a couple of inches off the floor. And you could stay here or release the hands. And gently lowering the right leg with your next inhale, lowering the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lowering the left leg. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in and out. Let's bend the legs, placing the feet on the floor, about hip width apart. Lifting the toes, spreading them wide as we make one end of our bridge. Shoulders tuck under, arms alongside the body with the palms facing down. Pressing the shoulders back into the mat, making the other end of our bridge. Take a breath in and out. With your next inhale, scoop the pelvis. Gently begin to roll the spine up one vertebrae at a time, pressing the hips high. As you exhale, slowly roll the spine down. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, gently rolling down, keeping the knees parallel to each other. Vision toward the ceiling. Inhale, scoop and lift. If you'd like to hold and breathe, you feel free to do that or continue coming up and down. You can press the feet into the mat, pushing back onto the shoulders if you're holding. If you'd like to add the chest opener, rolling the shoulders under, interlacing the fingers or holding a strap. If your fingers are interlaced, pressing the palms together to protect the wrists. Walking those elbows in as far as feels comfortable. Can keep the elbows bent or extended depending on the flexibility you're feeling today. Pressing the feet into the mat. Chin is gently lifted away from the chest, keeping the natural curve of the neck. If you'd like, you could walk the left foot in a bit and then gently reach the right leg up toward the sky, pressing through the heel. And when you're ready, gently switching those legs. And then coming back down with both feet if you had one up. Pressing those hips high. Releasing the hands, rolling the shoulders out. And then gently rolling the spine down. Taking a deep breath in. As you exhale, tuck the pelvis, pressing the low back into the mat. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. And let the breath go. Bring the right ankle over the left thigh, gently pressing that right knee out to the side. You could stay here, or if it feels okay, lift the left foot off of the floor, taking hold behind the hamstrings or over the top of the shin. Flexing the right foot, draw the left knee toward the body just as much as feels okay. Lengthen through the neck, shoulders are back and down. And send the breath to the right hip. Breathing into the hip. Letting go of any worries or frustrations stuck in the hip. Letting them float away on the breath. And then gently release. We'll switch legs. Right foot on the floor, left ankle crosses over the right thigh. Lifting the right foot off of the floor, take hold behind the hamstrings or over the top of the shin. Flexing the left foot as you draw the right knee toward the body just as far as feels okay. Lengthening the neck, shoulders tuck under. Breathing into the left hip. Releasing any anger or anxiety stuck in the hip. allowing it to float away on the breath. Well, let's come to our hands and knees. I'll have to call CenturyLink and figure out what's happening. All right. So we'll bring our hands below our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. Take a deep breath in and out. With your next inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Follow your breath. And with your next inhale, come back to table pose. Let's take the right arm and sweep it up toward the sky. And then bring it down, threading underneath the left arm, bringing that right shoulder to the mat, resting the right side of the head on the mat. Gently pressing the right shoulder into the mat, pull back against it, creating traction. If you can feel the stretch around the shoulder blade. And then gently pull the right hip toward the right shoulder as well. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, lifting the left arm up toward the sky. You could bring the left hand by the right hip, rotating that right shoulder back. Nope, that's the left shoulder back. Or if it feels okay, you could also bring the left arm over the left ear, bringing the fingertips to the floor. And just continue to gently pull away from the shoulder through the back. And then we'll bring the left hand back to the mat. Pressing it in, we'll lift that right arm up to the side again. And then bring the right hand back to the mat. And take a breath in and out. And with the next inhale, sweep the left arm up. And exhale, threading it underneath the right, resting the left shoulder on the left side of the head on the mat. Gently pressing the left shoulder into the mat. Pull back away from the arm. And then draw the left hip toward the left shoulder gently. Keeping that traction through the arm and the shoulder, gently releasing those muscles around it. You can stay here, or if you'd like to bring the right arm up to the sky, or bring the back of the right hand to the left hip, rotating that right shoulder. Or if you'd like to bring the right hand over the right shoulder, right ear to the mat. Just continuing to gently pull away from the arm through the shoulder. And then we'll bring the right hand back to the mat, Pressing into the floor, we'll lift that left arm up to the side again, and then bring the hand back down. We'll walk the hands out a couple of inches, tuck the toes under, press the hips up and back, downward dog. Softening through the knees, reaching back through the hips, head between the arms, with the chin away from the chest, and gently rolling the shoulders back toward each other. As it feels okay, allow the heels to float down. Pressing through the balls of the feet. With your next inhale, let's kick the right leg up behind us. And as you exhale, draw the knee in toward the chest and shift the weight over your hands. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, draw the knee in, shifting the weight. Inhale, reach back. And once more, drawing the knee in with your exhale. Hold and breathe here. And we'll step forward with that right foot. Coming into a high lunge. Extending the head out. Press back with the right hip. Forward with the left. Pushing that right foot into the floor. You can also bring that left knee down if that feels better, and have some blocks under the hands if that feels better. Can stay here, or if it feels okay, lifting up into that higher lunge. Arms over the head, out to cactus, or at the heart. And then we'll bring the hands down, rock the hip back, lengthen through the spine. And then we'll step back with the right foot, walking the heels out a little. Coming back into that downward dog, pressing the hips high, pressing to the balls of the feet. With your next inhale, let's kick the left leg up behind us. And as you exhale, draw the knee in toward the chest, shifting the weight over the hands. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee in, shift forward. Inhale, kick back. And exhale, draw the knee in, hold and breathe. And then we'll step the rest of the way forward with that left foot, coming into a higher lunge. If that feels okay, otherwise bring that back knee down. You can also have blocks under the hands. Left hip presses back, right hip presses forward. Pressing the left foot into the mat. If it feels okay, you can lift the torso up tall. Hands over the head into cactus or at the heart. Whatever feels best for you right now. And then we'll bring the hands back down, rock the left hip back, lengthening the leg just as far as feels okay. And we'll step back with the left foot, pressing back into downward dog, softening the knees, heels float low. Come forward into plank. And then knees down, lowering the head and chest to the floor. Place the hands under the shoulders. Feet are together. Press the pelvic bone down into the floor. And with your next inhale, lift the head and chest into a gentle cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. You can also lift the hands off of the mat. And then gently lower back down. Let's press the hips back to the heels, rounding the spine, coming into child's pose, or recline puppy with the hips up a little higher. Breathing into the spine, supporting the forehead with the mat or stacked fists or a block. Releasing the weight of the body to the earth. And then let's wrap the hands around alongside the legs, but around to the feet. So we'll take hold of the heels. And then we're going to lift the hips up if they aren't already. Keeping hold of the heels, coming into rabbit. So the top of the head is on the mat. You're going to press the heels into the hands, stretching around the shoulders. You can also tuck the toes under if that makes that more accessible. Might make it a little easier to create that traction as well. And then we'll gently release, bringing the hips back down as much as feels okay. Take a couple of breaths. And placing the hands under the shoulders, rolling the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Shoulders up and back and down. Let's tuck the toes under. You can sit back onto the heels if that feels okay, or be up and kneeling, gently leaning back, or either having the hands on the mat, pressing back to stretching the bottom of the feet a little. Whatever version feels good for you right now. And then we'll bring the heels to the floor, coming into Uttanasana, forward bend. Soften the knees, lengthen through the spine. You can have hands on the floor or on the blocks or on shins. Pressing actively into the feet. Lift up through the sitting bones and let the head fall forward as much as feels okay. Let the spine lengthen, the low back release. And softening the knees, drop the hips. We'll bring the hands to the heart, coming into Utkatasana chair pose. Pressing through the feet, reaching back a little through the hips. Lifting the heart, shoulders are back and down. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, you could bring the arms up over the head or out to cactus. And then let's bring the hands to the heart, and we'll add a twist if that feels okay. You're going to bring the left elbow on the outside of the right knee, twisting to face the right. You can have those hands together, or you can open the arms as well. Lengthening through the spine, twisting through the ribs. And then we'll come back to the center and switch sides. So right elbow on the outside of the left knee or right forearm. Gently twisting or opening the arms, lengthening the spine, twisting through the ribs. And gently coming back to the center and folding over once more. Uttanasana. Softening the back of the neck. Pressing into the feet, hips reach high. Be careful not to lock the knees. And with your next inhale, sweep the arms out and up, palms together over the head. And exhale, hands to the heart. We'll take a breath in and out. Right. And then let's work with balance pose. Pardon me. And let's work with, eagle pose. Could not get the word out of my mouth today. All right. So if you'd like to use the wall for support, go ahead and have your stand with your back to the wall, but just a few inches away so that when you bend the knees, that then your bottom hits the wall as support. So feet are hip width apart, spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes, spread them wide as you lower them down. Shifting the weight to the left leg. We'll come up to the big toe of the right foot. Arms out to the side for balance. We're going to hinge at the hips and that left knee. So we're going to bend those like we're sitting down with the one leg. Finding a focus spot for your gaze. You can stay here or lift the right leg over the left. Foot can be in the air, on the floor, or wrapped around the calf. Stay here or add the arms, right arm over the left, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or left hand around the right wrist. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, gently squeezing the arms and the legs together. If it feels okay to drop a little lower, feel free to do that, but pay attention to your knee. Make sure that the knee is not going past the toes. Holding as long as feels comfortable. And then gently unwrap. And we'll shake out that left leg. All right. Finding our balance on both feet again. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lifting the toes, spreading them wide as we lower them down. And shifting our weight to the right leg. Right knee is slightly bent, coming up to the big toe of our left foot. Arms slightly away from the body to help with balance. We'll hinge at the hips and the right knee, bending those gently. Finding a focus spot for our gaze before we lift that left leg over the right, foot in the air, on the floor, or wrapped around the calf. If you'd like to add the arms, left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, gently squeezing the arms and the legs together. Dropping the hips a little if it feels okay for your knee. And then unwrapping and releasing when you're ready. Taking those legs out. Let's bring the legs nice and wide, and we'll point the toes, the right foot toes, toward the short end of the mat. Left heel drops back. Let's work with Trikonasana again. Inhale, the arms out at shoulder height. Left hip reaches toward the wall behind you. Right arm reaches across the room. And then drop the hand down toward the leg. Turning the torso to face the wall, the hand can rest at the low back, or if it feels okay, floating that left arm out of the shoulder. Pressing into both feet, softening through the hamstrings of the right leg. Hold and breathe. And with your next inhale, press into the feet, lift up tall, and float the hands down. We'll rotate the feet. Left foot points toward the short end of the wall. end of the mat. Right heel drops back, hips facing the long end of the mat. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height. Exhale the right hip toward the wall behind you, reaching that left arm across the room, floating the hand down toward the leg or block. Right hand can either rest at the low back or float up out of the right shoulder. Rotating the torso to face the wall, lengthen through the spine. Both legs are strong and active. Soften through the hamstrings of the left leg. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, float the hands down. Let's bring both feet to face the long end of the mat. And let's interlace the hands behind us, rolling the shoulders back, pressing the elbows toward each other, and gently extending the arms out if that feels okay. Palms are touching. As you come to your next exhale, fold forward, letting the arms drop over the back of the head as much as feels okay, or keeping them at the low back if that doesn't feel good. We'll bring the hands to the low back and then dropping them down toward the mat. Pressing into both feet, lifting up through the sitting bones. Let's walk the feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. If you'd like a block for Malasana squat, you can place the block in the center behind the heels. We'll drop the hips, lifting the torso, hands to the heart. Working on strengthening here. Or if you want to work more on opening, dropping down toward the block or heels, or coming all the way down to the mat, walking the feet a little further out. And holding there, elbows or upper arms into the knees or thighs. Gently opening, softening around the outer hips and the low back. Gently stimulating the digestive tract. And then gently lowering the rest of the way down. And we'll come to meet in cross-legged. Sending the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Inhale, lifting through the crown of the head. Exhale, dropping your right ear over your right shoulder. Tucking the right shoulder back and down as you breathe into the left side of the neck. With your next inhale, coming back to center. And as you exhale, dropping the left ear over the left shoulder, tucking the left shoulder back and down as you breathe into the right side of the neck. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, turning the chin over the right shoulder. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. And as you exhale, turn the chin over the left shoulder. With your next inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, dropping the chin to the chest. Inhale, sweeping the chin toward the right shoulder. Hold and breathe. With your next inhale, come back to the center. Exhale toward the left shoulder. Just sweeping the chin over there. Should feel a little different stretch at that angle. With your next inhale, coming back to the center. Letting the breath go, softening the shoulders. And then inhale, lifting the head up tall. Let's bend our knees, coming to the center of the mat. And if you'd like to go ahead and put on socks and a sweater now, so you don't have to do that later, you can do that. And then whenever you're ready, taking hold behind the knees, rounding the spine, and gently rolling back. We'll lift the feet up toward the sky, rocking the hands or a block underneath the hips to support the legs. Ankles and knees are relaxed as you breathe into the belly. And gently bend the knees, rocking the hands or block out from underneath the hips. Can hold the knees in, rocking from side to side, or gently pulling the knees in and out, making small circles with the low back. And reversing if you're making circles. If you'd like one last twist, bringing the arms out to the sides, knees together, gently dropping to the right, vision to the left. With your next inhale, coming back to the center. Exhale, dropping the knees to the left, vision to the right. And with your next inhale, coming back to the center. If you'd like to do a happy baby here, feel free. Bringing the arms between the legs, taking hold of the arches of the feet. Knees easing out to the side. Can also take hold behind the knees if the feet are not accessible. Notice where you might still be holding on in the hips and gently release. soften the muscles of the face as you surrender into Ananda Balasana, happy baby pose. And when you're ready, releasing the feet, bringing them to the mat and extending out into Shavasana. Supporting under the knees with a bolster or blanket if that feels better for your low back today. Or walking the feet out to the edges of the mat and resting the knees together. Tucking the shoulders under, feet about hip width apart. Arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allowing each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself. Sending that loving kindness on the breath to each and every cell of your body, honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, gently bend your knees, roll to your side, and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our communities, and for ourselves. Thank you all so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
And thanks for hanging in.